Hi, this is Randall here in Texas.
And I'm Matt here in Michigan. With the snow coming down in parts of the US, Randall and I decided to do kind of a wintry sports movie today. We're going to look at 2004's Miracle. It stars Kurt Russell, Patricia Clarkson, and Noah Emmerich. It's directed by Gavin O'Connor, who also directed The Way Back, which we have a review of. Be sure to check that out. Warrior and The Accountant.
Miracle had a $28 million budget and it grossed $64.5 million. It's very well liked by audiences and pretty well liked by critics. It tells the story of the 1980 USA Olympic hockey team as they train to compete against the Soviet Union's team that has not lost a game in 18 years. It's based on a true story. Matt, do you like Miracle?
I do like Miracle, and it's not just because I'm a hockey fan. I do think it is one of the better hockey movies out there, and I think it's one of the better all-around sports movies out there. If I have to say one thing about it, might be a little bit longer for non-hockey fans, but looking at what the critics and audiences give it for ratings, that might not be true with how high praise this movie actually gets.
Man, I liked it. I liked it when we saw it back in theaters when it came out, and I'm a sucker for Kurt Russell's acting portrayals, so I think he did a pretty good job of this as well. Being this hard-nosed coach that he had to be, he embodies the character so well that he cares about the players, but he knows that he can't be kind to the players. And you have a lot of good portrayals in here of all of the team members, which we can't even list everybody that was really actors in this. It's a fun movie to watch, and a strong word saying it's one of the best sports movies. I mean, Remember the Titans is out there, and I think that's pretty well up there with Hoosiers and stuff like that, man. And Sandlot, which we've already done.
Well, it's up there. I didn't say it is but like you mentioned, at least two of those where you look at like Remember the Titans, and you also look at Hoosiers. A lot of the focus is on the coach, and that's what you're mentioned here with Kurt Russell. This movie focuses a lot on the coach and the players, which, like you said, there's a lot of them to mention. We only get a little bit of backstory on a few of these players, and it's just to kind of bring you in the movie to say, hey, what are these players actually fighting for or playing for? They're playing for more than just their country. They have personal issues and stuff at home that they're also fighting through to go through on the ice and stuff. But yes, I think one of the best decisions that the movie makers or the creators of this movie did was the fact that they used actual hockey players and taught them how to act as opposed to picking actors and teaching them how to play hockey. That definitely adds to the feel, not just of the hockey scenes, but also where we see the players off the ice interacting with each other. It gives that, authentic feel that, hey, we're actually watching hockey players.
Yeah, as much as we both enjoyed Mystery Alaska, there's good criticisms to be made in that film that you can tell that it's actors playing hockey players. When you watch Miracle, it's a very different experience. You're watching some real hockey, and it is enjoyable to watch that. It's really a different experience in comparison to a lot of other films where actors are just doing their best to portray sports.
I think one thing this movie really does well too is talking about the time period in which this movie took place. Our whole opening credits is basically like a mini US history lesson leading up to the 1980 Olympics, just to show like events, like what is the overall feel and stuff in the United States of America. And it really helps elevate to show why this game is important, why people gravitate to this game so much, because it was a battle between USA, who underdogs by every sense of the word, and the Soviet Union, who had been absolutely dominating hockey for over a decade, nearly 2 decades. This Soviet team had gone just going through anyone, even the best from the NHL and stuff. So I think they did a really good job at the beginning showing history, and then also showing current events spread throughout the movie as well, that time period in 1980, to show you why this was important to a lot of people.
Anything that's got a historical backdrop of the Soviet Union is almost instantly something that people want to go see. I mean, go look at Chernobyl, for example, or even our recent review of Top Gun. If it's got the Soviet Union in it, people are interested in watching it, and this film is no different. One of the things that I do like, you mentioned, like the Soviet Union in real life, not just in the movie, they were dominating hockey. 18 years, unbeaten. That's crazy. And then you take this coach, Kurt Russell's playing, a real person, Herb, and he's like, in order to beat this team, we have to fundamentally change everything. We can't play NHL hockey in order to beat the Soviet Unions.
My goal is to beat them at their own game.
You see this transformation between these really just college level players, but this character who takes them and says, well, we're gonna run them is so hard. No one's gonna outwork them. No one's gonna be able to beat them. We have to beat them to the puck. We have to learn how to play like this, completely rewiring their brains, almost like boot camp. And the thing is, from a perspective of reality, that is what had to happen. Like, even in the real world, there's some pretty good stories about just how harsh this team, was vetted, and how it was put together and how it was trained. Not 100% accurate by any means, but definitely based in reality more than not.
And we definitely got to talk about one scene. I think it might be one of the most known scenes and stuff. The whole, skate the lines thing after the U.S. tied. I think it was Sweden at the time. Again. Just kind of showing, like you mentioned, what this team actually went through. They used that scene as like a turning point from this team, where it was a bunch of individual hockey players that actually became a team on that moment. Like, hey, who do you play for? You don't just play for, your college team that you were playing for. You're representing something much, much more. And I did say, the runtime's a bit long. Some of these scenes I think are a little bit longer, maybe. I don't know if there's any scenes that I would take out of this movie, but some of the scenes might run a little bit longer. But, I really do enjoy this movie, and I think they're long really to drive home the point that it's trying to get to.
Yeah, and it's interesting, that scene that you're talking about, where it ties back in with an earlier scene where he asks everyone, and who do you play for? And, they go through and they very unwittingly say, I play for Minnesota, or I play for, Ohio State or something like that. The players aren't understanding that that's not the answer he's looking for, but he doesn't let them on to know that that's not the answer he's looking for. And then later, in the specific scene where you're talking, where they have to skate the lines.
Who do you play for?
I play for the United States of America.
They get it, finally. Like, oh, I don't play for my college team. I play for this team, for the United States, and we're a team. So that's well done. That's some pretty good filmmaking right there.
Totally agree. Like you said, definitely weaving things back in. A big point they were mentioning at the beginning of the film, we actually hear it from like the trainer, that even though Herb Brooks' stuff seems unorthodox, you might not understand why he's doing things, he has a reason for everything he does. And it kind of is good too, showing like Coach Craig, who's kind of like, he's the one that's supposed to have the feel for the team, and that's his job. And that's what Brooks told him, is like, I want you to stay close to these guys. If there's any problems that I need to handle, you let me know. Otherwise, you handle it. And it's good to see, because they kind of butt heads, like they don't agree on things, to start off. And then at the end of the movie, Coach Craig is kind of like, he sees it. He, not just the players get what Brooks is trying to do, but he also gets what Brooks is trying to do, and kind of, is more like in on it whenever Brooks does something that seems a little unorthodox.
As much as I would have never liked to live through the 1980s very much, I mean, I was obviously born in the 80s. I kind of like, man, it'd be cool if I had seen this in person. Much like I go back and watch, Apollo 13 and be like, oh man, I glad that everyone got home, and I know in hindsight everyone got home, but to imagine being there would have been so much different. This is a film that at least does a very good job of taking the viewer back to that time, and I would definitely recommend it if you haven't seen it and you are a hockey fan. Go check out Miracle.
I'm right there with Randall. I recommend you check out Miracle as well. A really good hockey movie, really good sports movie. Check it out. Let us know what you guys think. Do you guys enjoy Miracle? Let us know in the comments below. If you like our review, be sure to give us the thumbs up. Also, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to get notified about our latest videos. We post videos every Monday and Thursday. We also post on our Facebook page. We will put a post out a day before our videos come out to let you know what the next topic is going to be. For now, I'm Matt here in Michigan. Have a good day.
And I'm Randall here in Texas. See everyone in the next one.
Next time on No Market Media. Please consider checking out some of our other videos.